Viewers, you are welcome to Thy Kingdom Come, a Methodist program designed to deepen your Christian faith and help you understand issues and what the Methodist Church Ghana is doing. We are here today to dive deep into what we call MDF Awareness Day, which this is celebrated or observed once every year. But the program is running through the year. It is not only just for a day. MDF is Methodist Development Fund. This is a fund set up by the Methodist Church to help develop the church holistically and then make sure that our infrastructure development is well, getting through to the rural areas and places where things are not going well in terms of our development, to make sure that it's done. I know, and I can tell you for sure, that the church is moving through this area. I have with me today the director for the Methodist Development Fund, who is going to help us understand certain things as we prepare to celebrate the Awareness Day for 2018. I am your host, the very Reverend Ishmael Francis Tete, and the director with me to help us deepen our faith or understanding of the MDF is also the very Reverend Ishmael Gansa. So you could see that we have two Ishmaels here, and by God's grace, we're going to carry you through to understand all about MDF. So, very Reverend Gansa, you are welcome to Thy Kingdom Come.
Thank you.
And as I introduced, made it clear that this is a fund that is helping the church develop holistically. I want you to tell us the whole idea of MDF. Where did it start from, and where are we heading to?
Thank you, Ishmael. Well, you've touched on part of it, in the sense that the concept was to establish a fund to accelerate development within the Methodist Church. It was conceived to be a vehicle that would help us mobilize as one Methodist family to be able to then go back and accelerate development, particularly in those areas which are deprived or least endowed.
Okay.
And I think that this is consistent with our whole faith, that in our development, we should never overlook the least endowed or the least capable. The other side of it was that it was conceived to be a virtually painless way of mobilizing funds, in the sense that everybody should be part of it, whether you're in the village or in the city, whether you're rich or you're poor, everybody can be part of this. And so it was agreed that let everybody contribute at least 50 pesos a month.
Okay.
The idea being that 50 pesos, everybody can give 50 pesos. Those who are better endowed, then the sky is the limit. So it was conceived as a developmental tool that would emphasize our connectional nature as one Methodist family that is sensitive to the needs of all across the Methodist divide. You would be amazed to know that even in Accra, there are societies that are desperately poor. They've got land, they cannot fund it. They've started building mansions, they cannot continue. And this is where you see the beauty of coming together as a family to mobilize and to focus our connectional efforts on these less deprived areas.
Oh, okay, so focusing our connectional effort and making sure that everybody is part. You made mention of the amount. One may say currently in Ghana, in Accra, you cannot even buy 2 pure water sachets. Sachet water, pure water, you can't buy 2 with 50 pesos. And I heard you mention that that is the least, at least. So that means it is not for those who have to say that, okay, it's 50 pesos, so I'm also giving 50 pesos. They can give more.
Yes.
All right. And you are targeting less endowed. So far, what has been the output?
Let me just add a little bit on. You know, in the Lord's time, the Lord commended this woman who gave 3 pesewas.
Yeah.
And then also the Apostle Paul had cause to commend the Christians, Macedonian Christians, who were desperately poor. But yet they found it as part of their joy to contribute to ease the burden of others. In the kingdom of God, nobody is outside giving. No matter how much you think you're deprived, you have an opportunity. And that's what the 50 pesewas was also aimed at doing.
Okay, so that means everybody, the church is encouraging
everybody
the act of giving.
Part of our faith.
Part of our faith.
Yes, the demonstration of our awareness of the needs of the kingdom, particularly the deprived areas.
So beloved, if you are listening to Very Reverend Gansa and you are a Methodist and you are not giving, you have an opportunity. If you are thinking of giving a huge amount, you will receive it. If you don't have huge and you want that minute quantum, you can also give. So please, don't sit on the fence in terms of what we are talking about MDF. So I was asking what the output has been so far, since we are using that to develop the church holistically. Are we having breakthroughs? Are we having success? Is there, massive development that MDF can boast of?
Well, there are challenges, because if we are collecting 50 pesewas, it means that we ourselves, we know that you need to start slowly and build up momentum. Okay. Albeit, whatever we've collected, what we use the amount for, there are areas which have been defined for us. One is the deprived communities. In their places of worship, the manses. Then the other area is social evangelism, hospitals. Then we also look at the wayward children, deprived people. So these are the areas that we've been channeling what we are able to mobilize. We are now, this year, for example, we've done about 75 responses.
I see.
Yes, for development of manses and hospitals and schools. We also have in our budget set aside something as a seed fund for the youth. So the total amount that comes into the kitty is not big, but we see it as a beginning, and that it will generate momentum and we'll be able to do far more. Now, we've done 75. There are lots of applications from all across, from ministers, for manses, for schools, for hospitals, accommodation for nurses, etc. Okay. So these are some of the things that we're doing with whatever comes into the kitchen.
Then we can tell everybody that it is not only about, so some people, when they hear giving in the church, they're thinking of what is being given to the pastor, what is being given to the minister. So as you mentioned, man says, then they will say they are going to build a manse for the pastor to stay in. But even with that, if the man of God has somewhere to lay his head, he's now concentrating on the work that has been given, thinking about their prayer life, thinking about their holistic development, and then being part of the service or the community to make sure that that is done. But, beloved, you heard from Very Reverend that schools, nurses' quarters, hospitals, these ones does not benefit a single person. So that means people must be on board to make sure that that is done. So, Director, as you've been discussing, you've realized that MDF is on the ground and doing much. Can we have some specifics in terms of the projects that MDF has done? Because you made us aware that for the rural areas, for orphanages and others, can we have specifics, since we can scan through the dioceses to know what MDF is doing?
Thank you. Well, you We have produced a magazine,
Okay.
which we are circulating during the Awareness Day. It has a comprehensive list of the requests. But let me just mention a few. When you go to the north, for example,
So if he says the north, we're talking of Tamale Diocese.
Tamale Diocese.
Yeah.
When Tamale Diocese, we have helped in the construction of the cathedral and in the bishop's manse. You know, Tamale for a long time has been an area that the church tries to support. Then at Wa, the school for the blind,
Okay.
we've been there to support. If you come down to the south, if Fiduase, Obogu Society Chapel Roofing Project, we have been there to help them. We also have been to assist when you go to the Winneba, the Methodist Rafiki village.
Okay.
So this village caters for the wayward children, the street children.
Street children.
Yes. So we've been there to help. And it goes on, but the comprehensive listing you'll find in the magazine that we have sent to all areas of the church.
So viewers, you can see this how it looks like. The MDF News and Awareness Day program is being circulated. If you get one, a copy goes for 5 CDs, as I'm seeing the price on the cover. If you get one, you can see the projects and where MDF has covered. And I believe as you went around, people were giving their own testimonies. So can you share some of the testimonies with us?
I remember the presiding bishop, the former presiding bishop, went to somewhere in the Sunyani diocese, and during his pastoral visit, went to a church where the minister, I've forgotten the name of the church, but I'll get it later, where the minister, when he wanted to have a place of convenience, the minister didn't have a place because down there, the minister was there suffering. He didn't have a proper manse, no good place for convenience. So when he came, he directed that we should go and assist. As I said, I've forgotten the name of the society, but if you want a specific society that we've also helped, Anmabo, Akraman, it's a society in the Cape Coast Diocese, where we help them to build a manse for a place of worship, a chapel pavilion rather, for a place of worship. We have a request from Bole, which we hope to respond to by the end of the year.
Okay. So we want also to know, are there challenges? What are the reservations of people? Is MDF very popular among the membership of the Methodist Church Ghana?
Well, unfortunately, it has challenges. And the usual story we hear is that they think the money comes to the top. They don't see much. And they don't hear much of what the MDF is doing. And so it becomes difficult for them to want to contribute. We have sought to respond to that by showing them in almost in our documentary that in almost all the dioceses, MDF is present, even though we are yet to be seen everywhere. But today, some are testifying that at Sunyani, when we went to re-roof the school, the bishop was very happy. The superintendent minister was very happy. People are now testifying, they are seeing that money is flowing down. We only need to accelerate that.
So do you have any channel by which the membership will have more information on MDF?
The structure of MDF is that we have what we call coordinators at diocesan, circuit, and society level. The job of the coordinator is to let people know of the existence of the fund, what the fund is doing, and to help respond to their difficulties in terms of information. Unfortunately, because of the way we are structured, the coordinators haven't been very functional. Apart from the diocesan level, you don't see them at the circuit and society level. So you don't hear much about the MDF at these levels. We are trying to correct that by appealing to the bishops to make sure that in their diocese we have the coordinators. Now, one Sunday in a month, we are supposed to do put a pot down and collect money.
Apart from the contributions.
Apart from the contribution.
Oh, okay. So scanning through the magazine, I realized that you mentioned 50 pesos, but I'm seeing contribute only 1 CD or more every month to the MDF faithfully and be part of the success story. That means we are encouraging we move from 50 pesos to 1 CD.
Exactly. That is for the budget for 2019. Okay. As at now, it's 50 pesos. And from 2019, we think that based on the number of requests, the urgency, and also bear in mind that we think 1 CD, with a little bit of effort, 1 CD a month, we should be able to do that. If we succeed, if only 75% pay, I'm sure that the impact in terms of our responses to the societies for masses and places of worship, our responses to the schools, Methodist schools that need rehabilitation, etc., our responses to the hospitals that need assistance, people will see a tremendous boost.
All right. So, viewers, this is a call, a wake-up call, that our response to the needs. You know, the Methodist has a lot of schools, and in partnership with the government, we also have to make sure we maintain them. Your 1 CD a month from 2019 can go a long way in making sure that this is done. So if you are a society of 50 people, you're talking of 50 CDs a month. 100 people, 100 CDs a month. If you are 300, then we bring all together, we can make a lot. We want to encourage you. Be part of this wonderful move by the Methodist Church Ghana. Even if you are not a Methodist and you are watching us, you can still contribute. I believe when you take it to a close Methodist church, tell them, I want to contribute to this, your MDF. We'll receive it, and God will bless you. So we come your way again. This is thy kingdom come. The projects that he has done are all in the brochure. I show it to you again. Make sure that you can get it going. And Tema Diocese is hosting the presiding bishop for 2018 Awareness Day program. As we come your way again, stay blessed and God continue to be with you.